Hi, I'm Jacob Gallucci, and right now I'd like to share some interesting Christmas stories with you. I've always loved Christmas. It's one of my favorite holidays. It always has been, and when I was a kid, my parents and we had these Christmas parties at restaurants in the Chicago area. It was from my parents' company, and several different people would come, like coworkers, friends, and just other random people that we knew, and it was fun. This Christmas party was held from 1990 until 2009. It was usually the second Sunday in December, but the early parties were on Monday. They were Monday night, but they were moved to Sunday when I started kindergarten. Our first party was at this restaurant on Taylor Street called Rosal's. It's still there. It's been open since 1990, and our next two parties were at this restaurant called Montegrano's. It's on Taylor Street, and now it's Free Aces. And in 1993, I was in kindergarten at the time, and that party was at this restaurant on Western Avenue called Menino's. In 1994, that was our fifth party. That party was at this restaurant called Osteria del Vecchio. It's where Montegrano's was, on Taylor Street, and now Free Aces is in that spot. And well, after Osteria del Vecchio closed, it became Nono Pino's for a couple years. This was like in the late 90s, and then it became Bar Louie in the early 2000s, and Bar Louie was there from about 2001 to 2011, and Free Aces has been there since about 2012, and well, anyway, the last 15 parties we had, from 1995 through 2009, those 15 parties were at this restaurant called Tufano's. It's in Little Italy, and it's not too far from UIC and the UIC Pavilion. It's been there forever. Tufano's has been open since 1930. Yes, 1930. And we usually had the same food each year there. We had fried calamari, bread, this special salad they have with different vegetables, meats, and cheeses and stuff, and we also had sausage and peppers, the baked mustacholi with the cheese. It was good, and we also had their chicken and potatoes. Their chicken and potatoes are really good. The lemon chicken, it's really good. We had a ton of different pastries there too. We would have a bunch of cannolis there, and cookies and fresh fruit, nuts. Fannie made chocolate, and it was really a great party. People look forward to it every year, it was great. And we stopped the party in '09 because it just became too expensive. There were too many people there, and it just got out of hand, And well, since I was a little kid, around Christmas, I would help. Since I was a little kid, around Christmas, I would help my family cook. And since I'm Italian, we would usually not eat meat on Christmas. We would have, when I was a kid, we would have, let me see, we had the fish salad with codfish, and we call it bacala. Bacala is the Italian name. It's the Italian name for codfish. We would also have, the salad would also have shrimp and calamari and sometimes octopus, and the salad would also have celery, black olives, capers, red peppers, also different seasonings like lemon juice, olive oil, pepper, parsley, oregano, basil, garlic, and then I would always put hot sauce in the fish salad too. The hot sauce would make it really good, and after a while, we stopped we would still make the fish salad, but without shrimp, calamari, and octopus. In the last couple of years we made it, we just made it with codfish or bacala. And we would also make fried calamari and fried shrimp and fried bacala, and eventually we stopped making the fried stuff. We still fried the bacala, but we didn't make as much. And when I was a kid, we would have like the calamari gravy, and we would usually have it with like different types of pasta, like linguine or mustacholi or fusilli. And the last time we had the calamari gravy was in 1999. Shortly after that, my mother became allergic to shellfish, and we haven't made as much shellfish. So since December of 2000, instead of making the calamari gravy, the calamari sauce, we would make lasagna instead. We had homemade lasagna, and sometimes we would make eggplant parmesan as well. We also would have meatballs and neck bones and sausage sometimes. Sometimes we would also make stuffed mushrooms. Like we'd have like the big mushrooms, and we'd stuff them with like breadcrumb and like other parts of mushrooms and like cheese and pepper and garlic, parsley, oregano, basil, things like that, and we would also roast chestnuts too. And the Italian name for them, we call them castagnas, and we would make them every year. And I love chestnuts. I always have. They're so good. And on New Year's we would cook as well. New Year's Eve we would make pizza, and we'd make at least 3 pizzas. One would be plain cheese, another would be sausage, and third one was usually a vegetable pizza, either plain mushroom or mushroom and spinach. And I've always loved pizza, and on New Year's Eve we would also make fried dough as well. With like the extra pizza dough we'd make fried dough, and we would put like powdered sugar on it, or cinnamon, or just plain sugar. And I love fried dough. I always have. And on New Year's Eve, we would also drink like New Year's Eve. We would drink like me and my family. We don't drink alcohol, but we would usually drink the Welch's sparkling grape juice, either the red one or the white one, and we would watch like the New Year's Eve specials on ABC, like when Dick Clark did it, and now it's Ryan Seacrest. We'd watch that, and we'd watch the local one too on ABC7 with like Janet Davies and Mark Giangreco and all the ABC7 people. And never really liked to go out much on New Year's Eve because it's too crazy. You get all the drunks outside, and it's just not worth dealing with them, really. But I've always loved Christmas and New Year, so those are 2 great holidays. And New Year's Day, I always look forward to the Winter Classic on NBC. Like they show like a hockey game that's being played outdoors, and the one this upcoming January 1st, it'll be the Blackhawks and the Washington Capitals, and the game will be in Washington, D.C., and it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that game. I've always liked watching college football, like bowl games, and NFL games too around this time of year, and playoff games too, like NFL playoff games. And I also like watching the NBA games on Christmas Day. That's fun. I love watching Christmas Day NBA games. And anyway, I'm sorry for rambling, but I have one more video to present today. And anyway, stay tuned for that.